A spaceship, huge and scary, hung in the sky. It was unlike anything anyone had ever seen before. The sheer size of it cast a shadow over the entire city, blocking out the sun and sending chills down the spines of those who looked up. The air was thick with tension and fear as people tried to comprehend the enormity of what was happening. Xyler, the big boss of the Zarbonian fleet, had come to Earth. He stood on the bridge of his massive ship, gazing down at the blue planet with a mix of curiosity and disdain. His eyes, cold and calculating, took in every detail of the world he intended to conquer. He wanted Earth, with all its good stuff and its handy spot in space, for himself. He'd been watching humans for a long time, studying their ways, their strengths and their weaknesses. To him, Earth was a prize, a jewel in the vast expanse of the universe that he could add to his collection. He thought they were simple, primitive beings who wouldn't stand a chance against his advanced technology and superior intellect. He believed that conquering Earth would be a walk in the park, a task so easy that it almost seemed beneath him, easy to guess what they'd do, easy to beat. He had planned every move meticulously, predicting every possible reaction from the humans. His confidence was unshakable, his arrogance boundless. He was wrong. The humans were not as predictable as he had thought. They were resourceful, resilient, and most importantly, they were united in the face of this unprecedented threat. Xyler watched from his spaceship, his confidence beginning to waver. Xyler watched from his spaceship. His eyes narrowed as he observed the chaos below. Screens showed people running around in a panic. Like ants, he thought. But these ants were not scattering aimlessly. They were organizing, preparing to fight back. The realization hit him like a ton of bricks, weak. He smiled. He thought he'd won, but that smile was starting to fade as he saw the determination in the eyes of the humans. They were not going to give up without a fight. His soldiers, with their super-duper weapons, were ready to attack. They were the best of the best, trained for any situation, equipped with technology that was light years ahead of anything the humans had. They'd squash anyone who fought back. Or so they thought. The first wave of attacks was met with fierce resistance. The humans fought back with everything they had, using their ingenuity and sheer willpower to hold their ground. Nothing could stop the Zarbonians, he thought, but as the battle raged on, it became clear that the humans were not going to be easily defeated. The fight for Earth had only just begun. The attack began. The sky was filled with the sound of explosions and the ground trembled as buildings crumbled to dust. The once bustling city was now a war zone, a testament to the destructive power of the Zarbonian technology. Cities fell apart under the Zarbonian tech. Their advanced weaponry was unlike anything humanity had ever seen. It was precise, efficient, and utterly devastating. The alien invaders showed no mercy, their cold logic driving them to annihilate everything in their path. Xyler watched, no feelings on his face. As the alien commander, he was responsible for orchestrating the attack. His eyes were glued to the screens, monitoring the destruction with a detached, almost clinical interest. To him, this was just another mission, another step towards their ultimate goal. He expected everyone to be scared, messy, and give up. The humans were predictable in their fear, their panic. They ran, they screamed, they tried to hide. It was all so typical. Xyler had seen it countless times before, and he knew exactly how it would play out. He saw that, but he also saw something else on the screens, something weird. Amidst the chaos and destruction, there was a different kind of behavior emerging. It caught his attention, made him pause. What was this anomaly? People were helping each other, protecting each other, crying. Despite the overwhelming fear and danger, humans were showing compassion, solidarity. They were risking their lives to save others, to offer comfort. It was a stark contrast to the cold, calculated actions of the Zarbonians. Why? It didn't make sense. Xyler was puzzled. In his world, such emotions were seen as weaknesses, liabilities. Yet here, in the midst of an attack, humans were displaying them so openly, so strongly. It was illogical, and it intrigued him. Xyler was curious. He had never encountered anything like this before. His cold, analytical mind wanted to understand, to dissect this strange behavior. What drove these humans to act in such a way? He told his soldiers to stop attacking for a bit. He needed time to observe, to study this phenomenon. The order was met with confusion, but his authority was absolute. The attack paused, and Xyler focused all his attention on the screens. He needed to figure out this strange human thing. It was more than just curiosity. It was a need to understand. This behavior could be a key to something important, something that could change the course of their mission. This love. It was silly. It made them weaker. In the Zarbonian culture, emotions were suppressed, seen as unnecessary distractions. But here, love was a driving force, a source of strength. It was baffling to Xyla, but they still did it. Despite the danger, despite the fear, humans continued to show love and compassion. It was a powerful force, one that Xyla couldn't ignore. It was something he had to understand, to comprehend fully. His cold, computer-like brain couldn't understand it. He was programmed for efficiency, for logic. Emotions were foreign to him, an enigma. But now, faced with this display of human emotion, he felt a strange, unfamiliar sensation. Was it curiosity, fascination? He had to see it himself, to get it. Xyla decided to go down to the devastated city to observe the humans up close. He needed to witness this phenomenon firsthand, to understand the power of human emotion. Only then could he truly comprehend what made these beings so unique. Xyla dressed up like a human and walked around. He watched their funny ways, their laughing, their crying. He saw a couple holding each other close. He felt something, a tiny spark, a warm feeling he didn't know. He saw a mum singing to her baby. The baby's eyes were so trusting, so full of love. He saw people being kind, putting others first. Why? He just didn't get it. He was more and more confused. This love thing was a puzzle he couldn't work out. It messed up all his ideas about everything. Could this be the secret weapon he'd missed? One day he was in a park. Kids were playing, laughing and shouting. He watched a little girl trying to fly a kite. She was having trouble getting cross. Then a boy came over. He smiled and showed her how to hold the string. The kite flew. The girl's face was bright with happiness. Xyla felt it again, that warm feeling. This time it stayed. He realized he wasn't just watching anymore. He felt part of it, like he was seeing the world through the kids' eyes. Could this be what they called love? He started spending more time with the humans. He learned their ways, their hopes, their dreams. He listened to their stories of love, sadness, and making things right again. He felt their pain, their happiness, their worries. He liked how they never gave up, how they could forgive. And he understood. Love wasn't weakness. It was strength. The humans, even though they weren't perfect, had something really special. Something his people had forgotten while trying to take over the galaxy. They had love, and it made them stronger than he could have ever thought, more powerful. He thought about his own people, cold and clever, but not very kind. He'd been taught to fight and win. Feelings were bad, weak, but standing there watching the humans, he felt the hard walls around his heart fall down. He felt hope. He realized his mission was wrong. He'd come to take over, but the real win was understanding, letting in the thing that made humans human, love. He'd found something better than any planet, any treasure. He'd found his own heart. He made up his mind. He'd stop the attack. He'd go against his own people. He'd protect this planet, these people, even if it meant they'd hate him. He spoke to his soldiers. His voice, usually cold and bossy, wobbled. He told them about his change of heart, about the power of love. He told them to stop fighting, to put down their weapons. Some didn't want to. They called him weak, a traitor. He stood strong. He wouldn't fight. He wouldn't break the humans' trust. He wouldn't break his own trust. He knew he was doing the right thing. The world watched, amazed, as the Zarbonian ships switched off. The invasion was over, not with a big fight, but with quiet. Everyone on Earth breathed a sigh of relief. They were safe. The news went everywhere, fast. Xyla, the alien who came to conquer, had chosen peace. He had chosen love. He spoke to the world, his words on every TV. He told his story, his change. He said sorry for scaring everyone, and he promised to help rebuild. His words touched people everywhere. He'd shown them what real bravery was, real kindness, real love. The world started to get better. Slowly but surely the scars of the past began to heal. Communities that had been torn apart by fear and destruction found ways to rebuild, not just their homes, but their spirits. People who had once been strangers now saw each other as friends, united by a common experience that had changed them forever. The damage from the invasion was still there, but so were the things everyone had learned. The lessons of resilience, of coming together in the face of adversity, were etched into the hearts of all who had lived through it. The sight of workers repairing infrastructure and people cleaning up after the disaster became symbols of hope and determination. Humans had faced their biggest fear and come out stronger. Closer together, the bonds formed during the darkest times were now the foundation of a brighter future. Community gatherings became more frequent, and the spirit of helping each other became the new norm. It was a time of unity where differences were celebrated and everyone played a part in the collective healing process, more ready than ever to make a better future. Initiatives to plant trees and clean up the environment were embraced by all. Children playing in parks symbolized the return of innocence and joy. Volunteers working together showed that the spirit of cooperation was alive and well. The future was no longer a distant dream, but a tangible reality that everyone was working towards. A future where love, not fighting, would be the most important thing. Relationships grew stronger, and the simple act of holding hands or sharing a smile became powerful symbols of the new world. Families enjoyed time together and friends embraced, knowing that they had survived something monumental and come out the other side with a renewed sense of what truly mattered. Xyler stayed on Earth, not as a conqueror, but as a friend. His presence was a constant reminder of the past, but also a beacon of the future. People welcomed him, not with fear, but with open arms. He became a part of the community, helping humans in ways they had never imagined. He worked hard to fix the damage he'd done. He shared his tech, his knowledge, and his wisdom. The advanced technology that had once been a tool of destruction was now used to rebuild and improve lives. Xyler taught humans how to use this technology, ensuring that they could continue to thrive long after he was gone. His smarts, his wisdom, the collaboration between alien and human scientists led to breakthroughs that were once thought impossible. Knowledge was shared freely, and the lines between species blurred as they worked towards common goals. It was a time of unprecedented progress and understanding. He helped humans start a new time of peace and happiness. Celebrations and festivals became common as people took the time to appreciate the peace they had fought so hard to achieve. The diverse group of people celebrating together was a testament to the new era of inclusivity and joy, and as he looked at the sky, he knew deep down that love really had won. The starry night sky was a canvas of hope, and as Xyler and the humans looked up together, they knew that the future was bright. Love, understanding, and unity had triumphed, and a new hope had truly dawned.